Hello, welcome to Laura's World. I'm Laura and I'm using my insulin pump as a fashion accessory to hold my tank top up. I'm not really sure what's going on with the coloring on this camera. I'm sorry, something is like... Is it too pink? Is it too much pink? There can never be enough pink. Well, I had this... Here we go with the color. Weird. I had this whole plan to go through a bag of some things I got from a company that's shutting down, basically the last haul. But I decided instead, you know what? Because I'm just not feeling it. Sorry. I'm going to try this Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops that I got yesterday in that bag. There we are. So let's give it a shot. It smells, you know what? It doesn't smell like candy watermelon. It smells kind of like watermelon rind, if that makes sense. So at first take, it definitely feels really nice going on. It's cooling because it's a gel. It goes on smoothly and it actually feels like it absorbs pretty quick. My skin is still a little bit tacky. But you know, it's a serum and some serums absorb quick like my Genifique and some don't, like apparently the Watermelon Recipe Niacinamide drops. But I will say that I have an overall, like, refreshed feeling. I don't know if that's just because it's watermelon and watermelon is universally refreshing or what, but continued use is what will tell how well a product works. Obviously, you can't... I mean, you have some of these temporary products that will plump your lips or get rid of the bags under your eyes, and that's all fine and well, but this kind of thing, these kind of serums are the long haul type, where you have to stick with them and use them regularly and keep on it to see the difference. That's why when I started with my, what did I have? I had this one retinol, I forget, jeez, who put it out? The Olay Regenerist, Retinol 24 Max Night Serum. This is what I started with. I still have it in here. I still occasionally put some on my face. Hello. Well, we're not going there today, but anyway. Consistent use of this stuff is what really aided in the reduction and then eventual disappearance of the wrinkles over here. Just being honest. I know that's what did it because nothing else I had was working on wrinkles anyway. So consistency, consistency, consistency. Then of course I switched over to a different gel because it's a retinoid, not a retinol, and I'm seeing some slight improvements. My skin, the feel of my facial skin, the texture is definitely improving. I'm yelling at everyone else about being consistent, and I have not been consistent with the different gel, but I have used it for a week solid now, and I am definitely noticing a feel difference, a texture difference. Now, the stuff that I have going on my forehead, I'm, you know, hope and a prayer. I don't really think anything's going to help that but filler, and I'm not getting that because, no. Also, I don't have any money, so there's that. Everything I'm reviewing is stuff that, like, with the exception of new releases and, like, the monthly Ipsy bags, most of this stuff is stuff I've already purchased, and I'm just getting around to going through because shopping sprees. I really do think that there's too much pink for my camera to deal with. Because I don't know if you can tell when I back up a little bit, I get a little brighter. I mean, I have a ring light, because everybody has a ring light, but it's kind of chop piecemealed together hanging over my camera. It's not right, but it's making do for now. And I have it on the most yellow golden setting, but when I move closer, I can see it on my end that everything just goes pale. I don't know. Yeah, when I bring more blue or skin tone into the picture, it looks like it's supposed to. Like, that's what I look like. But then when I get closer, boom, it's all pale. I don't know how to fix that, and I'm not getting rid of my pink. So I tried to sit down and learn how to do a good, I don't know, what, I'm really losing my mind now. What are the cat eye? Just the black eyeliner tail for myself and one of my subscribers who has hooded eyes, and I had to stop and just wash my face and just give it up for tonight because my eyes won't stop watering. Now, it's not allergies. I'm not allergic to any of the products that I'm using because I've been using them for a long time, and it's like this, I don't know where this is coming from. I'm not crying. I'm not I'm sad and I'm battling depression right now, but I'm not crying. So it's like, why are my eyes watering so much? It was making it very difficult, and it would just keep streaming down or coming out of the inner corners, and I'd constantly have to stop and keep wiping it. It's just, I'm gonna get to the hooded eye makeup thing. I'm gonna get to it. I just need my eyes to stop watering so much. Alright, so first glance, first take, I like the watermelon recipe and niacinamide drops, dewdrops, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much almost soaked in at this point. You know, my face isn't as tacky as it was, but it's feeling soft and smooth. Still a little bit kind of like you could tell that the product isn't fully soaked in yet. I don't know why it's taking so long. It just could be my skin for all I know. But yep, first take, I like it, and I will keep going with it because consistency is key. And I don't know, is there anything else I can show? I feel like this is like a pointless video. Then again, most of what I put on here is kind of not important. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm delirious. So yesterday I had tried the Victor and Rolf Flower Bomb. Is that what it's called, right? There's wording on here and I can't see what it says. Flower Bomb by Victor and Rolf. Okay, I was right. And not really my cup of tea. It didn't do well with my chemistry, I don't think. Or something about it was just a little, So I'm wondering. Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't talk about it, but I wore it the other day. Viva La Juicy Couture. I love it. So I will say this came in a duo. It's Viva La Juicy, the original, and then Viva La Juicy Gold Couture. I smelled them both. I like the original best. And it's a rollerball. I like having rollerballs. A little one, a little one. And see, I like it. It's flowery and sweet, but not overly sweet. And it's enough of a statement to say, yes, I'm wearing something, but no, it's not like a second shower, because let me tell you, there are people, like whenever I go to hang out with my husband at work, there's a lot of tourist activity. Am I giving myself away yet? Anyway, and there are people who walk up in there who just, it smells like they took a bath in their perfumes or colognes. Some of the men are the worst. I don't want to get too crass, but like, guys, spritzing your stuff with cologne is not the same as a shower. It has to be said, I'm sorry. Oh, I almost forgot. Yesterday, well, actually, it's the 23rd. On the 21st, I had my first follow-up appointment with the cardiologist after my hospitalization. Tell me why I paid this office $50, a $50 copay, to be talked to for 8 minutes and be told, well, your heart is in perfect health. Then why am I here and why am I paying you $50? Like, $50 that could have been put towards the electric bill. You know what I mean? This could have been a telephone consult. This could have been like, text me something, email me something. Like, I had to go 2 towns north to get into this office. The parking lot was a disaster because the building used to be a bank, so it was all over. It was bedlam. People were parking wherever they wanted. So they ran an EKG on me while I was in the office because that's their first line and they always do that. And what is an EKG but a 10-second picture of what your heart is doing right then and there? It's not a history. It's not a coherent picture. It's 10 seconds, so whatever. But knowing what we know now after that horrible cardiac catheterization I had done, my heart is in fact in perfect health. My blockage is 0. The muscle is perfect. Everything, literally, I was told a few years ago when I had to have some scans done that I had a heart of a 20-year-old. And I have progressed in age a little bit, but my heart is still doing just fine, which is great news, knock on wood. Because, you know, I had 2 grandfathers die of heart attacks. One at 42, and one, I don't know, 60s or 70s. I gotta find out. I gotta talk to my aunt. I gotta sit down and talk to my aunt, because unfortunately, my father passed away in 2018 from cancer, and we're not gonna go there, but my aunt, his older sister, is, you know, around, and she's 75, 76, something like that. Yeah, so I need to really sit down with her, bring a notebook, and ask all the questions that I wanted to ask my father that he either didn't want to or couldn't answer. But anyway, yeah, so great. Another professional charging me money to tell me that my heart is in good shape. But lucky me, I get to go back in November and have 3 more tests done. Why am I having tests if my heart is in good shape? Well, the spikes in your blood pressure. Yes, let me preface with my blood pressure on a normal day is, they would call it borderline. It's not quite elevated, but it is a little higher than they'd like it to be. However, it is definitely hereditary because both of my parents had high blood pressure. My grandmother on my father's side, that's another one. Like, I could never understand these people. I was very young. She died when I was 5 years old, so I was kind of like clueless. But they put her on blood pressure pills, and she stopped taking them, and my mother was very involved in her care. And she's like, what are you doing? She goes, oh, I feel better, so I don't have to take them anymore. That is not how that works. So I've been on blood pressure medication for a few years just because it was kind of inevitable. It's in the family on both sides. So he wants to check my circulatory system. Yes, the cardiologist wants to check my circulatory system because of the diabetes. I had to remind him, not once, not twice, but 3 times in that 8-minute visit, that I am not a type 2 diabetic. And I finally looked at him and said, listen, I get it. I'm fat. And I have borderline blood pressure, but my cholesterol has evened out. My lipid panel is perfect. My heart is perfect, as you say. I'm a type 1. And I whipped my pump out of my bra and said, see this? This generally, at least in America, type 2s aren't given insulin pumps. That's just the general. There's a misconception that only type 1s get there's a misconception, at least in this country, that only type 1s get insulin pumps. Type 2s are more and more being put on insulin pumps because their blood sugar is poorly controlled. And they have gotten to the point where they need insulin to control it. Type 2 can generally control their blood sugar with diet, exercise, and oral medications. type 1 is a completely different ballgame, which is why I'm still of the mind that these diseases should be named two different things. They are two different diseases, so they should have two different names. I'm sorry. Shoot me. Please don't. But this guy is adamant that he wants to check my circulatory system, and I said, you know what? If it's going to help you come to an understanding and explain away the random spikes in my blood pressure at different times of the day, which, knock on wood, I haven't had any spikes since I've been home from the hospital, thankfully. I said, fine, you want to run these tests? As long as my insurance covers them and I'm not going to have to pay $50 every time I come here, great. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to have to pay $50 every time I walk through that door, and if that's the case, then I think I'm going to call them and be like, can we condense this somehow, or could we, like, not? Because I don't have $150 to throw around on a hunch. And yes, that's the way you have to think about healthcare in America. People literally will call 911 because there's an emergency, but then all of a sudden change route and be like, oh my god, wait, okay, no, you know what, I'm feeling a little bit better, I'm going to drive myself to the hospital. That's what people do, because 9 times out of 10, if you're brought to the hospital in an ambulance, that's $1,000. That's $1,000 right there. And most insurance plans, at least where I live, or at least the insurance plans that I've been on, if you're in the ER and you are not admitted to the hospital, that's $100. $100, whatever happens. Now, I just got a bill from my hospital stay from the hospital for $1,500. I opened it and I went, okay. We have a thing in this country called charity care. Now, a lot of hospitals in this country are Christian or religious based and have, through Christian or religious charities, money available to assist or forgive medical bills for people who are not financially able to meet the bill. I don't have $1,500 lying around. I mean, I could organize something and say, all right, I'll pay you $5 a month until it's paid off, because I have had to do that before. I've been in medical debt for a very long time. It took me a long time to pay it off, but I paid it off little by little. Now I'm back in medical debt. I'm going to call them. I don't know if the hospital has the charity care. They have something on the bill that says, if you need assistance with this bill, call blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call and be like, hey. And when they're like, what's your income? I'm going to be like, nothing. And they're going to be, what do you mean nothing? I'll say, I literally earned $0 so far this year. And they'll be like, how do you pay your bills? It's an excellent question. I crack myself up. I know, I'm like the master at going off on tangents in this channel. Sorry about that. That's how my brain just kind of fires off. But in the medical thing, I was watching this one medical kind of warrior who calls companies out and shows you how to fight things, and if you keep getting bills for stuff, you find ways to fight it and ways to get it taken out. Like, after 7 years in this country, if you have a medical bill that's 7 years old, you're no longer responsible for it, which is like bad and good at the same time. But so what I'm getting at with this woman and her TikToks, she revealed that United Health Group, which gets like 80% of their income from tax dollars, because they support mostly Medicare, Medicaid plans in this country. And if you're not sure what that is, we'll get into that another time. But they do these government subsidized plans that are also subsidized by the American taxpayer. In every pay stub, you see state taxes, federal taxes, Social Security taxes, Medicare taxes, your mama taxes. Like, it's out of control. It is out of control. Taxes. Oh my God. So she found a whistleblower from the inside who has since obviously resigned and has made his entire life's journey whistleblowing all of these mega corporations, or I'm sorry, health insurance companies. They have the audacity to call themselves non-profits. Health insurance in America is a non-profit entity with over 320 some odd billion dollars in profits from the last year. Honey, that's not a non-profit. That is all profit. Yet all they do is raise the rates on our monthly premiums, raise the co-pays, raise the max out of pocket, raise the co-insurance, and lower our coverage. Isn't that great? Not like I can leave though, because apparently I've been doing a little reading. My husband and I probably, unless there was some major employment situation with him, we wouldn't be able to like immigrate to another country. Like, we wouldn't be able to walk into Canada and be like, help. We wouldn't be able to go to, like I was jokingly saying about moving to Scotland. Well, we wouldn't be able to. None of these countries will take you if you're disabled. I don't know how true that is, but this is what I've been reading about, because I went looking to see if I could get dual citizenship in Slovakia, because I was talking about my grandfather, and there's some rules and laws in place that, yes, if I could prove, they will go back up to 3 generations. So this only has to go back 2 generations for me. But I think there's something written in there that Slovakia would have to be your primary residence for dual citizenship. Like, I could keep my American citizenship, but I would have to declare Slovakia to be my primary, which I can't do. Point of bringing that up is, I mean, healthcare is just, it's abysmal. And there are people who will say it's abysmal everywhere in the world, but I assure you, healthcare in America only works out for the wealthy. In America, healthcare is a privilege. I can't speak English. Healthcare is a privilege, not a right. So anyway, generally happy skin. Just about completely soaked in now. It's getting better. I mean, this is going to be dark for a long time because for some reason, whenever I have scarring, it just stays dark for months. I'm going to be looking at this for at least another month and a half, I think. But that's what I get for picking my zits. Don't pick your zits. Don't mind me. I just really like the smell of this perfume. I'm really glad that so far of everything I tried, most things I like. There are only a few that I don't. And it's not because they smell bad, they just don't smell good on me, in my opinion. So, hey. Alright, so I'm going to get back to watching the documentaries on royal diseases and bloodlines and things like that. Because hemophilia and what's the other one? Porphyria. Scary stuff. Thanks for watching. Please throw me a like, some comments. Feel free to subscribe if you want to. You know, try to have a little fun. And make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Put the SPF on your skin and have the day you deserve, which I hope is fabulous. Bye!